Hi, this is Rachel Lopez from the Hindustan Times, and today we are discussing the Indian contribution to the First World War and how you can learn more about it. More than 1.3 million Indians fought in the First World War. They fought for a cause that is not their own, and more than 70,000 of them died for a country that was not their own. And now, more than a century later, their efforts, their contributions are finally being recognized. One of those contributions is a statue in Southampton in the UK. It's a statue of Hardit Singh Malik, the first Indian fighter pilot. He flew in the First World War and he was really a hero. Malik joined immediately after graduation and he wore a turban. So he had a helmet that was especially fitted to fit over his turban, and because he was a pilot, everyone called him the Flying Sikh. To know more about him and to know about other Indian contributions to the First World War from India, stay tuned. Sarabani Basu's book, For King and Another Country, looks at the Indian soldiers on the Western Front, and she has some really interesting insights. She says the moment war broke out in 1914, Britain realized that it's going to need a ton of manpower. And where did they get the manpower from? The colonies. The Indian soldiers fighting for Britain were out in the trenches, out in the field within the first few weeks of war breaking out. And she has wonderful insights of what it cost India, what it cost Britain, and how the balance changed. Now, I'm a huge fan of podcasts, and I especially love the ones made by the BBC. They're just very succinct, they're clear, they're incredibly well researched and well produced. And one of them is Soldiers of the Empire. It came out in 2014, which is exactly 100 years after the start of the World War. And in 2 episodes of 30 minutes each, Shantanu Das looks at how Indian soldiers were recruited and what went down in the trenches in these early crucial years of the war, and it makes for just fascinating listen. You might want to watch India, the Forgotten Army on the Discovery Plus channel if you want something non-fiction. It's an adaptation of a book by Rana T.S. Chinna, which is called World War Sikh, and it looks at, of course, Sikh and other Indian contributions to the First World War. The book is subtitled Memoirs of an Indian Cavalryman, so you can really get to see what went down right on the foot soldier level. And if you really want to sink into something, this is not a bad book to start with. Even if you don't speak Punjabi, put your subtitles on for Sajjan Singh Rangoot, which is a 2018 fiction film that came out. And it was a huge hit among the Punjabis and among Punjabi language cinema. And it really looks through the eyes of a few Sikh soldiers, the experiences of an entire regiment, of an entire population that actually went and fought in a war very far away, missing family, and of course wondering what they were all fighting for. For a point of view of the war from the Flying Sikh himself, you can read Hardit Singh Malik's autobiography, which came out in 2009. It's called A Little Work, a Little Play, and in his own words he'll tell you how difficult it was to apply to fight for a war, his rejection initially, his final acceptance, being able to fly those magnificent machines in the First World War, the battles and all the adventures that went down, and of course his distinguished, wonderful life as a diplomat afterwards.